So yeah, Starfield just keeps getting better and better. Let me tell you what. And I really hope Bethesda absolutely takes a look at this and can expand upon this to everyone. Also, mentioning Bethesda, yes, the future of Bethesda is looking absolutely bright after today because things have changed big time for this company going forward. Yeah, we're going to talk about what that means for Starfield, but also we got some really cool stuff to talk about. Other franchises that I think you guys will absolutely love. So, yeah, we got to talk about that. And yes, we're going to talk about Breaking Starfield. Someone posted an interesting discovery about one of the best weapons of the game. You guys have got to see this one for sure. But yeah, check this out right here. Yeah, so I've been playing this brand new game called Fishing Clash, and I had no idea how much fun a fishing game could actually be. You can manage an entire fishing village in this game, which is like a whole game within itself. There's beautiful waterfronts and locations, and it's actually a lot of fun when the fish bites and you have to reel it in. It's really cool. Now, there's a lot of different fish species to catch with many different global fishing locations to visit. You can upgrade your equipment with tons of customization options, and the game even has competitive PvP gameplay, which includes weekly and daily events and leaderboards too. And there's even a Halloween event coming up too, where you'll be able to catch some extra creepy creatures from the deep waters. So join me right now and download Fishing Clash for free by using my link in the description below, or scan the QR code on the screen and use my special gift code Open World to get a $20 value for free. Again, this gift code is Open World, and with my gift code, you'll get a unique avatar, 1 mythical lure card, 50 luck power-ups, and 30 weight power-ups to help you catch bigger fish. And yes, a very special thank you to Fishing Clash for believing in what I do here and sponsoring this video. So yeah, we got to start out with this headline right here. It says Microsoft mashed up Modern Warfare, Halo, Diablo, Starfield, and more in a genuinely weird trailer celebrating its Activision Blizzard takeover. This is home now. So yeah, if you missed the news, of course, yes, Microsoft has successfully acquired Activision and Blizzard officially. There's no going back now. It is official. It is a done deal no matter what. But this trailer is very interesting because, of course, yes, as you can see right here, Starfield is in here. It says, so this is home now. There's a bunch of other franchises in here as well. So yeah, what's so exciting about this acquisition is that Microsoft can kind of run this like PlayStation does with their studios, and that they can communicate with one another. We're already seeing that Bethesda is tapping into this bit by bit. We saw that ID Software really did help out with the gunplay in Starfield, but I think they're going to take this to an entirely new level. And while previously they've been able to communicate within their own realm, ID Software is very much part of Bethesda. They can now extend that to basically all Microsoft studios. And it's only going to be very, very good for Starfield from the perspective as a franchise. And yes, even when it comes to things like expansions and upcoming updates and DLC, I only see this being very good news. Also, you got to consider that Bethesda can really focus up on their engine on one type of platform architecture, which of course is going to be Xbox. And yes, PC is another whole beast that they have to tackle with all the graphics cards and that sort of thing. But yeah, they could really focus in up on this with communicating with what other teams are doing around the Microsoft umbrella of studios. And it seems like that's what they're going to do. So yeah, very exciting stuff here. I only see good things coming from this acquisition going forward. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens with Starfield as a whole, as a franchise. But I have to mention something else that I think a lot of you would be super excited to see, because the trailer also highlights a franchise that I just want to see back so badly, and that is StarCraft. And I feel like it fits very well with Starfield for some reason. They're both very much space themed, and I want them to go like all in on StarCraft, return to the RTS roots. But of course, we were supposed to get StarCraft Ghost, which was supposed to be like this third person stealth action type game. Man, I feel like they can do so much with StarCraft. It would be mind blowing. But I think a lot of you guys, even if you don't even know what StarCraft is, would love to see it simply because you're into Starfield, into the space theme type stuff. So yeah. But yeah, let's talk about why Starfield is getting better. So check this out right here. we have, yes, the HD overhaul. I promise to keep you guys updated on this one. Look at this. We could see the trailer that was posted by Hulk Hogan, who is the actual mod creator for this mod, the Starfield HD overhaul rework. And it is beautiful. What he has done here, what he has accomplished, is amazing. And again, I really hope Bethesda is taking notes here and they actually continue updating Starfield in terms of the graphics, both on PC and, yes, on Xbox platforms. But let's get into the actual post about this one. So let's dive into it. Yeah, so it says this right here. Starfield just got a huge new HD overhaul. Starfield Bethesda stellar RPG and successor to Skyrim and Fallout looks even better thanks to a new HD overhaul mod, which boosts the game's visuals to 8K. Now, there is a selection there. If you're intimidated by that, you can go from 2K textures all the way up to 4K to 8K textures. So there are options if you're worried about this really kind of like destroying your machine. But it goes on to say the following right here. It says, created by Luxor 8071, it's straightforwardly named Starfield HD Overhaul, and it sharpens, improves, and enhances myriad textures to new resolutions between 2K and 8K. We've got Aquila City, New Atlantis, and Neon have all been completely reworked alongside water, concrete, and yes, the interiors of stores like Teru and Galbank, and even the deepest reaches of space itself. Take a look at the image below. We're going to get into that right now. We have more than just one image, of course. So if we take a look, yeah, you guys can download this, by the way, by following the link in the description below, but check it out. So here is like the original to the left, and of course, to the right, you have the modded version. But let's keep going. We have right here the after. I wish this was the before, but this is the after. But as you can see, it's very blurry beforehand. And then afterwards, you can see the crispness of the leaves. So we're really focused on the leaves, the foliage. But yeah, you can see how improved the textures look here in New Atlantis. This is gorgeous what this mod has accomplished. And I really hope that, again, something like this can come to, yes, those of you that are on Xbox. It has happened in the past with mods before. We have seen that sort of thing through Creation Kit and that sort of stuff. But maybe, just maybe, we will see that with this one. We'll have to wait and see if this mod can actually be as far-reaching as Xbox. Don't hold your breath, but I will definitely keep you guys in the know if that actually does happen. Cross our fingers here on that one. But again, hopefully we get like official word from Bethesda on future graphical enhancements and updates to Starfield. I hope they do not stop updating this game whatsoever. But we got to talk about Breaking Starfield. So check it out right here. It says, Breaking Starfield, the most disgusting weapon perk combo in the game. Explanation is in the comments. So yeah, we got to dive into this one. This one comes from Salty Meat Boy, and we do have a clip here showcasing how powerful this weapon is, of course, against Terramorphs. I'm not going to play the whole thing right there. But he says this, hi everyone. I've seen a couple posts pop off here regarding the advanced Varan Inflictor, which by sheer damage alone is undoubtedly the best weapon in the game. However, I'm here to tell you that the base stats you see are only the tip of the iceberg, and this weapon is much more broken than most people even realize for reasons which I will explain in this post. In short, the Varan Inflictor can permanently stun lock enemies without the need for any rare weapon effects. I just use Legendary Inflictor for show via a specific combination of perks and attachments. Now it says summary and explanation. The Varan Inflictor is an in-game weapon that has several unique qualities among all the weapons in Starfield. It is one of only a handful of weapons in the game which deals particle beam damage. For some reason, particle beam weapons benefit from both the particle beam perk and the laser perk in the combat tree. On top of that, they also benefit from rifle certification. With these three perks leveled to the 3rd tier, an advanced Varan Inflictor can deal over 1,400 base damage. I said earlier, though, this is only the tip of the iceberg for how busted this weapon can become. Because the Inflictor has a non-automatic rifle designation and can be modded with the scope, it also benefits from 2 other critical perks, marksmanship and sniper certification. Now, the 4th tier of marksmanship is an incredibly powerful skill on its own that allows weapons with a scope equipped to knock down weapons on the next hit after a critical. For whatever reason, you don't actually have to be scoped into proc the ability, you only need to have a scope equipped on the weapon. With this in mind, equipping a short scope on an inflictor will give us a critical hit roughly every 5 shots or so, thanks to the 15% crit boost from the third tier of marksmanship, even when firing from the hip. If we add plus 25% crit boost from headshots with the third tier of the sniper certification skill, we can get the knockdown ability from marksmanship tier 4 to activate roughly once every 2 to 3 shots if we have good aim and are scoped in. Here's where it gets crazy. The Ron Inflictor also has another unique quality in the form of a available spread nozzle attachment that splits our main beam into 3 separate beams. However, the attachment does not affect range or accuracy, meaning if you aim down sights and shoot at something at range, all the beams should hit the same spot as if you were shooting a single beam. This is in contrast to the 1-inch punch rare weapon effect, which will permanently kneecap range and accuracy. It has the same damage benefit of the focused nozzle, maximizing the weapon's damage, except we get 3 separate beams per trigger pull, which divide the total damage among them. Each beam has a separate chance to land a crit, meaning that even when hip firing, you can get a knockdown, which immobilizes a target for 2 to 3 seconds, like once every 2 to 3 trigger pulls, or essentially every trigger pull if you are ADSing and going for the head. Add the 5% crit chance bonus from the 4th tier of particle beams, and what you're left with is an absolutely disgusting combination which can stun lock even the strongest enemies permanently with no effect. If one of the 3 beams that hits an enemy is a critical hit, the remaining 2 beams will proc the knockout ability from marksman, meaning we don't even have to wait for another trigger pull if we land a crit with this attachment. And as an aside, the furious effect on some rare weapons will also register each of the 3 beams from spread nozzle as an individual hit, meaning you can achieve the 30% damage bonus for each beam in just 2 trigger pulls on the same enemy. What you're left with at the end of all of this is a short, medium, long range sniper shotgun, all in one, that can permanently stun lock enemies forever and benefits from nearly every weapon perk, every perk based damage bonus in the game. Absolutely insane. Yes, sure sounds absolutely crazy. So if you have not tried this for yourself, go for it and let me know your results. But I'm wondering if this will be updated or not. I don't think Bethesda will nerf anything that's in the game. In fact, I think they purposely have some of this stuff OP so you can discover it and really be godlike. So I don't think there's any worry about this being nerfed, although it is clearly very, very broken. Now, this would be more of a concern if we're talking about like multiplayer PvP or something like that, but clearly this is not the case. But yeah, let me know what you guys make of that one, if you tried it out, or if you're going to try it out, or if you think that this kind of like ruins the fun of the game, because like, what's the point of trying other weapons if you have this godlike weapon in your inventory? So yeah, let me know. Sound off. Now, we also got to talk about your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. So yes, let's do this. What was the most recent video about that I did? It is this one right here. An incredibly odd news update. Bethesda, that's definitely different, but I like it. So let's get into what you guys had to say about this one, shall we? So we have Big Baller Bean who says this: they need to focus on more faction-oriented quest lines. It would be cool to have friction between the UC and Freestar Collective, much like the Civil War mechanics in Skyrim. Also have more faction apparel and outfits behind advancing one another. So I personally think this, hear me out. I would have scaled back on the entire 1,000 planets to explore marketing scheme behind Starfield and really focused in on the actual factions and the quest lines, and even cities like Aquila, locations like Neon, and that sort of thing, and expanded the regions beyond those locations right there on those planets and flesh those areas out. That's how I would have done it. So yeah, I get what you're saying. I think that faction quest lines, the more hand-built content, needs to be focused up on going forward for Bethesda. Not so much the outskirts of the game, so to speak. Exploration is still extremely important, of course, to Starfield. I do think that. But at the same time, I myself really love the narrative-driven type plot lines, even if it is the side quest stuff. So I really hope that when it comes to expansions, that they focus in on that area of the game. All right, so next up we have this one right here. Cephalus, who says this: I like the super rare loot, but this thing is a thing that is super easy to mod. Everyone should be able to tweak loot drops to their preference. Do you guys think that should be a thing in the game where you just go in there and tweak it? Like make the super rare loot more available? I myself, I like to have chase items in games like this. Again, I have stated that this is clearly not a looter shooter whatsoever, but interesting rewards are key. With a game like this, I really think to games like, and I've said it again, Ghost Tsushima, where they really advertise, hey, at the tail end of this entire quest line, there's going to be something really cool that you will be able to obtain. And sometimes they even let you know what you will be able to obtain. So it's kind of like that carrot stick immediately going, oh, okay, this is going to be really worth my time. Of course, I do think that there does need to be those super rare items that maybe are not so advertised in the world that you do have to really discover, and they're kind of secret. So I do like that. When it comes to the expansion for this one, I really do hope that they do tap into more chase items and maybe kind of in a way advertise that there are going to be rewards tied to whatever quest line you are on, whether it's faction quest line, side activity, what have you. But I really do like to know that, hey, this is going to be worth my time. All right, so next up we have Brandon, who says this one right here. I definitely agree that the lack of variation in points of interest really kills the flow of the game. In past Bethesda game studio games, the gameplay loop only worked because you were eager to continue exploring and discovering new, unique locations. But in Starfield, once you've explored one planet, you've basically seen all there is to see. Yeah, I definitely hear you. Again, it comes down to, for me, when playing Starfield, the only times I was like really awed with this game and amazed by what I was seeing was when I was involved with handcrafted designed worlds and also quest lines. That's when I was super interested, when the game held my attention. But when I was in the same mine for the 10th time, I was just like, you know what, these bounty hunter missions, I think I'm just going to skip them. And that's definitely not good. That's the sort of thing that needs to be revisited through some sort of rework or update. And next up, we have this. Regarding loot, it doesn't mean much to me. Having higher tier white loot with mods has been more useful to me. Now, the point of interest definitely needs more variation, but I don't think a single player game can die either. You put it down and play it again further down the line. I mean, in Skyrim and Fallout 4, the dungeons and such would reset and you'd get the same enemies in the same locations, and people still played for years. I don't know what it is about Skyrim in particular where I just didn't feel that as much, you know? Yeah, it just felt different in Skyrim, at least in my opinion. Anyway, there it is, the latest happenings around Starfield. And yes, we talked about Bethesda, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard. Let me tell you, one word: StarCraft. I just want to see more StarCraft. I know it's probably like years and years and years down the road, but it seems like this is one franchise that I believe Microsoft would be revisiting down the road. And don't forget, check out Fishing Clash for free by following the link in the description below, or scan the QR code you see on the screen and use my special gift code OpenWorld to get a $20 value reward for free. So check it out. Download Fishing Clash for free right now. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more Starfield, maybe StarCraft in the future. And I will see you all next time. Take care.